matric number is D2018108358. Okay, for this video, we will explain more about poverty. Okay, poverty is an important issue because it symbolizes the extent the economic growth of the country is enjoyed by the people. Therefore, we expect the poverty rate to decline in line with the country's economic growth. Poverty and income inequality are extreme issues that still exist in Malaysia. Any rise in poverty and income inequality definitely affect economic growth. As for the economic impact, the impact of poverty has led to an increase in government spending. This increased government expenditure is due to the government having to bear huge expenses to eradicate poverty. This large expenditure will in turn cause other development activities to be affected as it has been spent to cover the cost of poverty eradication program.
Hello everyone, my name is Atirah and today I would like to share the causes of poverty. Poverty can be divided into three types of poverty, which is rural poverty, urban poverty, and also hardcore poverty. There are certain reasons why poverty happens and today I will share with you. First is poor education and skills. Most of the people who are in extreme poverty do not have a proper education and skills. There are a lot of reasons and barriers why they cannot continue their studies into a higher education, and one of them is probably because their family cannot afford to pay their school fees. And second is because there are still family who thinks that giving a proper education to their children during this time and day is not important. Second is lack of infrastructure. Just imagine yourself wanting to go to work but there is no road to get you there, wanting to buy or sell goods but there is no access to go to the supermarket. Living off the grid or in total isolation from communities means the inability to go to school, work, buy and sell goods because there is no access to go outside from their place. This only forces people to travel farther distances to only access basic services, and it will only cost more money and keeping their family in poverty. That's only the thing that I can share today. Thank you.
So, we already knew on how poverty occurs and the effects. Next, we will see what we can do to decrease or prevent poverty issues in Malaysia. I have two recommendations for these poverty issues. First, based on news article made by Dr. Muhamad, the government needs to do consolidation program, especially for the B40 families. This including on businesses and household living aid. As they're using the fund to buy the living needs, they also can use their aid to fund their startup business. Knowledge and skill classes also need to be held so the families will manage their business well. Next, the government needs to study and revise the Malaysia Poverty Line Income (PLI). PLI has been revised recently by the Department of Statistics Malaysia (DOSM) with the poverty line revised from RM908 to RM2,208 in July 2020. This means that over 400,000 households in the country with monthly incomes below this level are considered to be living in poverty. The government also needs to ensure that in order to reduce poverty, especially in this COVID-19 outbreak, they need to increase the minimum wages because the cost of living is increasing rapidly. So now, let's see what economic policies can help to overcome this issue.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Nurul Hidayah Binti Asri. So today I would like to share how Malaysian government has reduced poverty using the new economic policy, NEP. NEP was announced in 1970 as the principal policy after the political crisis of May 1969. According to the official government planning documents, the poverty rate has been reduced from 49.3% in 1970 to 16.5% in 1990. How Malaysian government do that? First, the Malaysian government has expand employment opportunities for all Malaysians regardless races and without being bound by fracking economic policies and colonial orders. Based on this solution, the unemployment rate has dropped from 8% in 1970 to 5.1% in 1990. Next, the government also reduced income disparity between races, urban and rural area, as well as region. By using this solution, the monthly income household has been increased from 423 ringgit Malaysia in 1970 to 1,167 ringgit Malaysia in 1990. Amazing, right? Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhamad Syafiq. So today I would like to talk about the policy in Malaysia to overcome the poverty. The policy is National Development Policy. This policy was introduced by Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. Mahathir Muhammad on 1991 to enhance the welfare of Malaysia comparing to the other country in the world. NDP replaced the Malaysian Economic Policy but still continue the most of the NEP policy. One of the National Development Policy dimension is to overcome of hardcore poverty and reduction of relative poverty. The measure used to overcome the poverty under NDP are: first, provision of social and physical infrastructure for access in education, health and employment mobility. Second, introduction of special hardcore poverty program to increase the standard of living with the provision of decent housing, child nutrition and maternity health. Lastly is microcredit scheme for the hardcore poor to be involved in income generating. So that's all from me. Thank you.